What's up, guys? My name is Phil. Welcome back to Miranda Detailing and welcome back to another weekend wash. So in today's video, I'm going to try to actually clean two of our vehicles, the Avalon and the Sequoia. I'm going to try to get them done quickly, so I'm not going to focus too much on every little thing about each vehicle. The pollen has hit and it's really bad, like I explained in the last video, and I just want to clean them up, and I think the pollen is starting to die down, hopefully. So let's take a look at the cars first, and then we'll get to washing them. And again, I'll show you quickly around the vehicle, the protection that's on there, and I may at some point completely strip the Avalon of everything and kind of start new with other products. I don't know, we'll see. So let's take a look at the Avalon. As you can see, the pollen, yeah, it's still kind of heavy on it, but I want to clean that up and get all of this pollen off. And it'll be a good indicator also once it's clean to see how long it lasts, to see if the pollen falls back on it or not. And that's kind of an indicator of, you know, the pollen season starting to come to maybe not a complete end, but it slows down definitely. And this actually had rained just yesterday, and it cleaned off most of the pollen on the Sequoia, which is great. But then we have all of these, I think these are little like maple seedlings and other types of seedlings that are falling, because of course this here sits right underneath the pine trees and some other trees that we have here. So let's focus on the Avalon first. Let's get it washed up. And I ran into some mud on this side, so I definitely need to clean the tires and wheels on this side. So guys, if you're interested to know what I have on each of these panels and our weekend washes, because in those weekend washes is when I go over all the different protection on the vehicle and show you the results. So far what I am seeing is the trunk, you know, it's dirty, but it is kind of sheeting a little bit. We'll see if the washing kind of brings that back. We're seeing the bumper here is also sheeting and breaking off the water pretty quickly, which is great. And a few other, you know, panels here that we do have protection on look dead, but we're going to see after the wash if that comes back or not. So even up here we have a coating, a ceramic coating, and it doesn't look good, right? But watch when we wash it. And then some protection, like this and this, holding up extremely well and beating like crazy. Of course, vertical panels, I know, different than horizontal, where it really takes a beating with pollen and all that junk. So let's give it a wash and let's see what happens. So guys, let's just take a quick look around and show you what's going on. So we use Max Shine Refresh, which is very close to CarPro Reset, and AM Details ceramic or hybrid sealant is on here with, it's like topped maybe twice with the detailer, the hybrid detailer, and that is showing signs of, I don't know if it's just dying or if it just could be residue or who knows what, or maybe just needs a good deconning to kind of bring it back to life. Sometimes residue kind of masks things. So we'll see what's going on with that. Here on the passenger door, we have the Hybrid Solutions Pro Flex Wax, just the Flex Wax. So that is performing really well. Nice tight beads, and it's sheeting all the way to the bottom. And on this one, we have the Vonix Blend Paste Wax. That also is performing really, really well. Up here, we've had on here for maybe 7-8 months now, the Avalon King Coating. Now, I haven't done anything as far as a maintenance on top of this at all. I've let it go. And it's still performing well, but in the middle section here, it's starting to show some weird signs. Again, it looks like it could just be residue. I think that's all it is. Sometimes if you dry the vehicle and then you re-wet it, it brings it back because the towel picked up the residue. It could be. Flex Wax, again, here, but it's not as performing well, you know, like I have here in the door. Don't know why. Very, very strange. The 75th anniversary ceramic graphene wax, the paste wax, I have on the entire bumper, and that's actually performing really well. A little, you know, a few areas here and there that are kind of dead, but that's because water flows down here, you know, constant water flowing, and that could degrade that. But the sides here are dry. They pretty much sheet right away. Griot's Garage ceramic, 3-in-1 ceramic wax here, and the back glass. That's performing okay. Back here, it's kind of a slow sheeting and a little bit of beading, but it looks like there might be some water spot issues. So again, if you decon that with maybe, I don't know, iron decon or something else, or just dry it, it could remove the residue and it could come back to life. We'll try that out. Ceramic Pro Sport on the door here, performing really well. This is still pretty fresh though. It's only about 3 weeks old. And I've had Torque on here for a long time. The ceramic, not the ceramic shine, the mirror shine, the original formula, and then I top it with their wireless wash. So that is still performing really well. Still beading and sheeting. Towards the bottom, sheeting a little slower, but you know, for that type of a polymer sealant, I've been impressed with it. It actually does a really good job. So who knows? See, it's weird. Some more expensive products that perform great on the onset sometimes die out, or they get clogged by other, you know, residue or other things like that. And then other ones that many people don't like are showing actually, you know, in real world performance, really, really good results. So who knows, guys? So many variables. I actually forget what I put over here. I put some sort of a spray sealant on here and I forget what it was, but it's performing really well. It's actually beading and sheeting really well, but I forget. So let's do this. I'm going to rinse it down a little bit, and this hybrid detailer, AM Details, I believe you can use it as a drying aid, but I think you can spray it on and rinse it off. I know you could do it with their original detailer formula, but I'm curious. Let's just see if we can do it and refresh this. Instantly it beads. Like you can see it break the water apart instantly. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Add a little bit more to the spots that need it. It doesn't quite spread the way that some of those types of spray and rinse products work, but pretty close. And now it's brought back to life. There's something weird right here. Don't know what that is, but that did bring it right back to life. Oh, that is cool stuff. I like it. That's really, really nice. If you have the hybrid ceramic or the hybrid sealant from AM Details, all you need to do is mist it and it brings it right back. I want to see if it does that on the top. And I know I haven't put anything on the top yet. This will be the first time topping that Avalon King coating. So showing some signs of dying towards the middle there. And that brings it right back to life. I'm going to spray a little bit more here and here. Perfect. And that brought it back to life. Not perfect, because it's still kind of sheeting a little slow right there, but if you want to see beads, it'll make beads. Yep, nice. Now I'm curious about this panel here, because, it's starting to come back a little bit. I think there might be just a little bit of residue on it. So it is sheeting slowly, but let's use the flex wax to top itself. And let's see if it makes a difference. So that brought back a little bit of the life, but let's do this. I'm going to dry it and we'll see if that removes any residue, if that makes things better. We'll see. Yeah, it does. It was just residue. Now it sheets away really nice and fast. So enough with the Avalon, let's clean the Sequoia. So if you remember, the protection that I put on here was Kosh Chemie spray sealant and the Art to Shine Bio Nano Pro. Now, yeah, it looks pretty dead, right? There's a little bit of life here, but I mean, that just goes to show you good products like that, who knows, it may not last long on the paint. Granted, I didn't clay bar it, I didn't polish it, I didn't IPA it, I didn't even do all of that. Well, actually, I did IPA it. So whatever was on it, you know, I didn't clay it, I didn't polish it, just IPA'd it. So who knows? All sorts of different variables. Let's dry it though. Again, it could just be residue, you never know. Let's just quickly dry the paint and hit it again with the pressure washer and just see if it removes any residue. And if that makes a difference or not, who knows. But so many different variables. It sits under the trees. It was blasted by pollen. It rained on this vehicle for, I don't know, a couple of weeks. So yeah, it's seen a lot sitting out here. So pretty dead. Starting to sheet a little bit right here, and a little bit right there, and a little bit up here. But that's pretty much it. Actually, this side seems to be performing a little bit better. It's sheeting up here a lot better. But, you know, that's just what's going to happen. Even some of the best products out there, what people deem to be the best, you know, if just quickly applied, I know, may not have the proper or the best prep. But then again, some products you can apply with barely any prep and they last a long time. So who's to say? All right, doesn't matter. The rest of it, yeah, not a lot of protection on the rest of it anyway. But, oh, hey you. Hey, don't run away. Why are you running away? Oh, okay, we'll give you some privacy. So I just dried the whole vehicle, and again, you know, the top here, it actually feels slick, and it was eventually sheeting off water and beading a little bit, but not by pressure washing it did you see, you know, any type of form of protection on it. It looked dead, but it was hanging on. This side was actually doing better. But what I'm going to do is just top it with the new Apex Surface Protection sheeting sealant, their Rehydra sheet. So what I'm going to do with this product is apply it onto a damp towel, and using it like, not really a drying aid, but more like a spray sealant, maintenance sealant. And we're going to see what happens here in maybe a couple of weeks. And I know I didn't prep it the way that one usually does. However, again, this is the real world. Those who want to buy this, who knows if it is a consumer or if it's a professional. Of course, I wouldn't do this on customers' vehicles. I'm doing it on my own vehicle just to test it, just to see what it can do, what it's capable of on an unprepped surface, and just using it as a topper. So I just want to hit it with water. I know it's not cured yet, but I'm just going to see what it does. And right away, you can tell there's protection on it. Ooh, wow. Yeah, it certainly sheets really well. So that's good. That sheets really, really well. Yeah. All right, cool. That's actually exactly what it's supposed to do. Flood the whole panel. When sheeted properly, that's what it should do. Now, of course, that is just early onset without letting it cure or anything like that. If it needs to cure, I really don't know. But from these initial, from this initial response, it's pretty awesome. So I'm going to apply a little bit more, dry it all, and then leave it alone, let it sit, and maybe the next couple of weeks we'll come back to it and we'll see what it looks like. But oh my gosh, that is incredibly slick. I didn't even clay bar this. I can feel a little bit of the grit, but that is incredibly slick. All right, apply just a little bit more onto the towel, dry this off. I do have to say, this product is extremely slick feeling to the paint. Now, if it doesn't last a month, you know, when I get back to it, maybe a month later, maybe 2 weeks, we'll see if I have time. I will check it out and see what it's looking like. Okay guys, that's gonna do it for the weekend wash. I just wanted to quickly wash the two vehicles, check on them, and reapply some stuff if needed. Like I mentioned in one of my past videos, when it comes to products, durability, things like that, there's so many variables. So the best of the best products, who knows, may not last as long as maybe more affordable ones, and vice versa. So who knows? The variables are crazy, and I know it can drive people nuts because they think, what's the best product? But truly, there isn't a best product. It's what works for you. What have you found to work in your area? It could be water, it could be pollen, it could be trees, it could be the rain that falls. You know, the vehicle sitting outdoors for who knows how long. So all of those variables put together can, I know, skew different durability tests and, you know, products lasting on the paint. But again, does it matter to me that much? Nah, not that much, because cars are going to be constant maintenance anyway. Anything sitting outside is going to be constant maintenance. That's just the way it is. Things that are left out in the elements, there's no way of truly protecting them perfectly unless you put them in a garage or put a cover on them or put them under a carport. They have to be protected. They have to be away from the elements for products to last on the paint. Wow, I just put my hand on this and it's so slippery, it's so slick, it's insane. And comparing it to the rest of the paint, I can feel that it's grabby. And this is insanely slick. All right, well, we'll see. That's another thing. I like it when products perform well, application-wise, slickness, and early onset beading and sheeting. That is good. But are they gonna last months? Probably not. Unless you have a true ceramic coating applied properly, then, you know, those are the only things that really do last a year or more, depending on the coating and depending on how it's taken care of. So even with that, there are some coatings that people have seen fail, and who knows, it may not be the coating, it might be a bad batch of coating. I've actually had that from one company where it was a bad batch application-wise and it was horrible. Called the company up and they said, oh yeah, throw that away, sorry, we checked it, bad batch, we'll send you another one later. And you know, that's fine. That just happens with products. And sometimes even with certain batches of products, you know, the way that they make them, they have to make them at a certain, who knows, how many thousands of gallons at a time. And then once that formula, once that batch is done, they have to start a new batch. Is it going to be exactly the same as the last? Who knows? And I know that because of automotive painting. The paints will vary, the clear coats will vary because of what happens at factory and what happens at manufacturing. There could be one little variant off and it can change a color or change how the clear coat reacts. Same goes with something as simple as painting, house painting, interior and exterior paint, and color matching. Is it going to be a perfect match every time? Not so much. So painters have to do what's called batching your paint. So if they get a couple of gallons or 5-gallon buckets of paint and they want to make sure that all that paint is the same, even if a 5-gallon pail is slightly different than another 5-gallon pail, what they do is they mix them together to completely eradicate the chance of putting on a wall and then opening up that second 5-gallon pail, starting to paint with it and it's slightly off. They mix them together or batch them together so that you have one color across the walls, you know? So that's what I've learned from my experience of all sorts of stuff. I used to do a variety of things. I know a little about a lot of different types of things. And I compare that and I use all of that knowledge when it comes to detailing. So I understand variance, I understand variables, and I understand the reality of making products like this. And are they gonna last in the real world? Who knows? They're tested in many different ways. Even their kind of verified tests that product companies do, is it a surefire way of saying this product lasts X amount of months or years? It's according to their tests. around the country, around the world. Those tests can even vary because of water and weather and the type of clear coat or paint that's on each vehicle. Each year, make and model will vary slightly. So that's why one product may not work for someone else in a different area. I mean, all those variables. I know I'm putting together all these different variables and variants to help people understand that that's why some things don't last and others do. That's why some people like a certain product and others don't. I know, it's crazy, right? Detailing can be very fickle, and it can drive people nuts sometimes because they can be using a product that works great and then all of a sudden it just doesn't on one vehicle. Who knows? So guys, I know it's a lot of information to take in, but stay tuned to the channel because I talk about that a lot. I want to cut through all the fat and all of the, ridiculousness about product testing and product durability and all of that. And to me, again, it's not going to matter because a vehicle that sits outdoors gets so much traffic and so much stuff outside, sitting outside, that, it's just going to get trashed. It needs constant maintenance, cleaning it, protecting it, putting layers on it. We drive it. That's just the way it is. So guys, if you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. And don't forget to subscribe and click that bell so you don't miss stuff. And we'll see you guys later. Have a great week.